Hi you guys, this is Elsa, and welcome to Achromatopsia and the saga that is my life. Um, I wanted to, actually, I wasn't really planning on doing a video right now because it's pretty late, it's almost 10 at night, but I had the strong urge to do this because, well, let me go backtrack real quick. Today's topic, I wanted to talk about school. And I already know I already did a video about that, but literally just a few minutes ago, I was on a Facebook group of mine, and somebody wrote a post about something their child's going through, and the post wasn't triggering, but when she was talking about what she was talking about, it brought back like all these things that I went through when I was in school that I honest to God like really did forget about. But it was weird. It was like somebody opened the floodgates, and all these memories of experiences that I went through, elementary particularly, just came flooding back, and I was like, oh my God. And it kind of put a lot of things into perspective for me. When I decided to make this channel, like I said, it's for parents of children that have achromatopsia. But to be honest, I was a little upset by like some of the way people, or should I say parents, thought about their kids. And you guys don't know. You really don't have any idea of how your child sees, especially parents that have younger children. The children can't let you know, hey mom, hey dad, I'm able to do this, or I can see that. They can't let you know. So I understand, parents are coming from a point of concern, but I really did get a little upset about it, and had a conversation with one of my sisters about it, and she goes, you know what? They don't know. Like they have questions, and it's okay to have questions. And you know what? You're right. Um, but anyway, my point is, I feel like this is something that needs to be said and needs to be told to all parents of children who have this eye condition, because I feel like so many kids go on with their lives dealing with things that they shouldn't have to be dealing with, or putting up with things that they shouldn't have to be putting up with, and it's not fair, and it really does affect them emotionally, and it stays with you. Obviously, I thought a lot of these things that really bothered me growing up, I forgot about, but obviously, like they all just came flooding back in like in full detail, where it kind of like scared me a little bit. But anyway, that's my motivation for today's topic. Um, well, anyway, I mentioned this in my other video when I was talking about school. I had let you guys know that it is very important for you guys to have communication with the principal, the teachers, letting them know, you know what I mean, what's going on with your child, that your child has, you know, is partially sighted and it's going to need special things. So that's why it's important to have an IEP in place, so that your child is protected and, you know what I mean, gets all the help that they're going to need. Um, so anyway, I remember a lot when I was in school, the teachers really didn't have an understanding of the way that I would see. And I don't know if it was a part of my, my parents not communicating to them really what I'm capable of seeing, and them also not asking, well, what is she able to see? Well, what can she do? So I think that was like a miscommunication right there. But I remember being very, very young and being so irritated, and I would get really upset when people would talk about me in front of me. And I remember as a young kid, always thinking to myself, I'm blind, not deaf. Like, I know I'm not blind, but in my head I would think that, like, really? Like, you're talking about me? Or they would say things like, oh, it's because she's blind. Or they would make, like, little hand gestures, like, it's because she can't see. And do it right in front of me. And I'm just standing there like, really? I can see you doing that? Like, I don't know. But anyway, because I would wear my sunglasses in the school because the school lights are really bright, I would always hear students, teachers' aides, other adults that worked at the school saying, oh, it's because she's blind. Oh, that girl right there, she's blind. And I was really, really shy, and I was never really taught or encouraged to like advocate for myself. So I would never, speak up for myself, but it really bothered me, and I just wouldn't say anything about it. When I go home, I would never talk to my parents about, this person said this and it really bothered me, or this teacher made this assumption and, it really bothered me. I never talked about it. I just held it in. But it was like an almost daily thing that would happen where people would say things or make these little gestures like, oh, it's because she's blind. Oh, she can't do that because she's blind. And it would really, really, really upset me. I kind of felt like I was devalued, or like I really was a person that, um, I don't want to say didn't matter, but that's how I felt at the time. Like I was less than everyone else because I was blind. And I didn't like how that made me feel. Um, I just, I really, really, now that like I said, all these memories came back, it's really sad that children go through this. And for us, I mean, honestly, the sad truth is that it's normal. It's normal to have teachers talk about you in front of you. It's normal to have students talk about you and make assumptions about you in front of you. It's our normal, but I think it shouldn't be. I feel like parents need to have an open communication with children, and tell them that it's okay to talk about these things. It's okay to share these things with you, because it's something very important that parents need to talk to the teachers about, because teachers almost won't pay attention to your kids because they think they're not capable of doing certain things or seeing certain things, and that is not the case. um I remember very, very, very well, whenever I would ask the teacher, can I go to the bathroom? Because, when you go to the bathroom, you have to get a bathroom pass. They would be like, oh, yeah, sure. And they would call on a student, to go with me. And not just to go with me, they wanted the student to hold my hand and physically walk me to the bathroom. And at the time, like I said, I didn't have the courage to like be like, it's I can do this by myself. Like it's fine. I would just be like, okay. But I remember it hurting my feelings, almost like, you really think I can't walk to the restroom by myself? Like, really? But it went on like that for a long time, and when I did get a little bit braver, I would just say, you know what, it's fine, it's okay, I can do it myself. And they would not take no for an answer. They would literally make, like I said, either a student or a teacher's aide hold my hand and physically walk me to the restroom. Yeah. And it would be like that with anything. If I needed to go to the office, or I needed to go to the library, or I had a classroom that I could go to if I needed extra help, or I wasn't able to understand something, I would go to that class. And they would have, like I said, either a teacher or student hold my hand and walk me there. And it's just, it would really make me angry. It really, really would. And now, like I said, that it's all floating back, I feel like you guys need to talk to your kids. And, every kid reacts differently. Some kids, really like and need that extra support. Not in a visual way, but, like, they need to feel supported. And I get that. But there's other people like me that just really got offended by it. And I really, really did. So if I sound angry, I'm sorry. It's just, I really, I'm mad. I'm mad about it, that I feel like I let it go on for so long. And, now to hear that other kids are going through it, it's just sad. Like, I don't know what's going on with teachers and their understanding of this condition, because they really do treat you like you're like physically disabled, and it's not right. To give you an example, I have a story that my sister told me, and this is not exactly how it was, because when she told me, we were talking about a lot of things, but the gist of it was, when she was in school, she went on a field trip, and they had gone somewhere where there was like sea animals or something like that. Like I said, this isn't word for word what she said. I really can't remember the details, but the gist of it was, everybody, all the other students could see, you know what I mean, the animals. You could see them in the tanks. You could see what they look like, what they were. But for my sister, they just assumed that she was blind. So they only her, they didn't ask any of the other students, just her. They wanted her to touch this, I don't remember what type of animal she said it was. I just remember she was telling me that she was like horrified because she really didn't want to touch it. But they were like, no, she needs to touch it. And she really didn't want to, but they literally grabbed her hand and made her touch it because they felt like this is the only way she's going to understand what this is by touching it, because, oh, she's blind. You don't have any idea how many times I've seen teachers do the whole she's blind thing to me. So I can only imagine how she must have felt, because it's infuriating. It's just like, wow. People are just very I'm trying to think of a nice word. It's not uneducated. They are just ignorant. But I feel like, just like, there's people like me that didn't speak up and we're letting them know, hey, I can do this, I can do that. They also didn't ask, are you able to see this? Or can you do this? Or can you do that? Or do you need me to help you with that? They wouldn't just do that. They would just automatically assume that you're blind. So that wasn't fun. I remember going to field trips, going to all these places where they kind of like put me aside because they feel like, well, I wouldn't be able to learn from this particular trip because I can't see. I remember going to museums. I remember going to colleges and college campuses and like historical places on field trips, and they kind of just, oh, she's blind. Oh, can you just stand with her? Oh, hold her hand. She's blind. I remember that, and I thought, like I said, I thought I forgot all about all that, but it just came flooding in, and yeah, that was not, those are not good memories to have. So anyway, my point is, please, please, please make it a point to communicate with your school, your child's school, with the principal, with the teachers, especially, the capabilities that your child has. You have to, I feel like, almost like if you're speaking to a toddler, make it extra, extra clear that they can see. They are not completely blind. We are partially sighted, but we can still see. We can walk by ourselves. We can go to the bathroom by ourselves. We can go to the office by ourselves. We can even, do homework and turn it in by ourselves. We can do all of that by ourselves. But I honestly do feel like the teachers just really don't know. So unless you make it crystal clear to them, they're just going to automatically assume your child is blind. Especially if they have an IEP and they have these special things in place, they're going to just, like I said, assume, okay, well, if they have all this going on, then they really must not be able to see at all. One of the stories I heard, I actually was trained on a walking cane, and I was trained on it, but I never used it because I can see. Now I know that there's lots of people out there that feel comfortable with a cane or prefer to use one. That's great, but for me, I just felt like I don't need it. I almost feel like it's wrong if I did want it, because there's people out there that really can't see and are able to do amazing things with a cane. But I am blessed because I can see. I can't see perfectly like everyone else, but I can see the way I can see. It's what, how I was born. So it's all I know, and I can see. So I don't need to use a cane. But I think it's wrong when the schools try to apply something and almost force you to do that. I think that's wrong. I was just having a conversation with my mom that there was a story I heard a while ago that there was a student that has achromatopsia that was in school that had a magnifying glass and a CCTV available in class. But the teacher would only let the student use the magnifying glass. because she did not want to go out of her way to get the CCTV, set it up for her, and do all that. So this poor child had to struggle with this magnifying glass, and she got really angry. She started having like behavioral issues because she was upset. And it wasn't until, finally after a while, the mom started noticing, hey, my child's, not being her normal happy-go-lucky self. So she started asking her questions, and come to find out, she's getting triggered and upset and stressed out at school because she can't see the work that they're expecting her to turn in. So she had a meeting with the school, and come to find out that she was being deprived this CCTV. And it was just, it's crazy to me that stuff like this happens. Like, I just can't even imagine that, I went through my things, in the 90s, but this is 2021. Like, you would think, you know what I mean, things are better for people that see like us, and sadly it's really not. So like I said, I feel like it's really important that the parents have good communication with the teachers, the principal, and make it clear on an IEP what, what your child is capable of doing, and never ever ever force them to do anything or be subjected to being put aside, or having somebody hold your hand and walk you places. Like, I don't know if anybody's gone through that, but I did, and I'm really angry about it. I'm really, really angry about it, because I just think, like I said, at the same time, I keep trying to think to myself, as the other person, they just don't know. You know what I mean? They don't know. But I kind of feel like if you see me walking into the school, you see me walking in the hallway, you see me walking to the cafeteria, you see me doing all these things by myself, obviously I'm able to, I'm capable of doing these things, but I don't know. So my point is, please make sure you guys, are really, really good at speaking to the teachers. If you have parent-teacher conferences, let them know, do you guys have any questions? Is there anything that you guys would like to know about my child? On all that good stuff, you have to have a good relationship with them so that they can, feel comfortable to reach out to you and ask you questions, and also encourage your children to speak up and, you know what I mean, advocate for themselves, because at the end of the day, we can only understand what we're going through. So it's especially hard for children to, say, what, this is this or this is that, because we don't know that it's different for normal-sighted people. But I think as the children get older, you're able to see who gets treated differently. So that's another reason why it makes people like us upset when we see that or we hear that we're being treated differently. So anyway, I'm sorry I made this video a little longer than what I wanted, but I felt it in my bones that I had to make this video, and I hope, parents pay attention to this, and, talk to your kids. Make it something fun. Don't make it like we're sitting down at the table, we're going to have this conversation. Take them out for ice cream. Go for a walk. Just casually, you know what I mean? Open that door for you guys to have this regularly open conversation about school, about friends, something they're struggling with. I mean, you never know. There might be a lot of things going on with your children that you don't even know that they're going through. So you can really help them, get some stress off their shoulders just by, hearing them out. It's very, very, very important to not always try to fix everything, but just sometimes you need to just listen. Your kids need that sometimes. And yeah. Like I said, I'm sorry I made this video long. I just really wanted to get that off my chest and share with you guys some of my experiences. I'm sure I missed a lot of good stuff to tell you guys, but right now I'm still kind of just upset about it. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, recommendations, anything, please feel free comment. I really want you guys to, get in touch with each other. Parents find other parents, that you guys have like a support system. But yeah, alright you guys, hope you guys have a good night. Bye.